cheap food, cheap beer, and John gets free stuff.
Just get a big trap. Well, how come we're not doing a live? Well, that was Super Bowl. Never mind.
We can do a live broadcast there because John knows the guy very well. John trains him too. He's one of our guys. He's one of us now. Guto Vicente.
Grouchy old men. Anyways, for the people listening to us, you're here once again on Monday Night Live with Full Contact Fanatics. I have a slight sore throat, so if I have a cough attack, I have hopefully Dando or Miguel can take over real quick. But real quick for the people that are with us today, don't forget you can go to onthemag.com, check out all of the latest information over there. Also myluckygee.com, make sure you check that out. They had the big fight to win here at the sports complex, and which was all it was all no gi, right?
No, there was
gi. Clever Luciano was in the gi, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll try to talk a little bit about that once we get going. We got Adrian Yanez is going to call in at about 8:30 or so. He went out to Thailand, and I wanted to talk to him because he didn't just go out there to go train and to go fight. He went out there to do all kinds of stuff. He's on a mission, stuff like that. So we're going to talk to him about that. And then at about 8:45 or so, Saad Awad is coming on. Now, did you guys get a chance to see that fight where he fought J.J. Ambrose? Oh, Dando?
I did not.
Miguel?
That was recently, wasn't it, right?
Yes.
Pinches
Mexicanos no tiene cable or what? You guys so big.
I thought we pay you to watch fights.
I'm going to be honest. And I'll tell him when he comes on. I thought, man, that's a tough fight for him. J.J. Ambrose fights all over the place, and you know, that's a tough dude. I don't want to say he walked right through him, but he just dominated that fight. It was, first of all, Saad has a heavy punch, but he just controlled everything from there. And they went 2 for 2. Lorenz Larkin won his fight. Mm-hmm. So maybe next week we can get Batiste on here from Millennia and talk to him about those guys moving up now. I think Lorenz, redeemed himself after a couple of losses, but they threw him right into the deep end too. Mm-hmm. Douglas Lima or whatever on the first fight that he had or whatever. So took him some time to get acclimated. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that once we get Saad on at about 8:45 or so. But before we continue on with that, we'll go UFC first before we do some news. So did you guys get a chance to watch that on Saturday?
A little bit of it. Yes, sir.
I caught a bit of it, yeah. But we were here doing the fit.
We were covering Fight to Win.
Fight to Win,
did
yeah.
You guys have it here?
No, I actually caught a piece of it afterwards when I went to get something to eat.
Yeah. Well, I got to say it was okay.
It was all right.
It was all right. Now, the first fight I want to talk about is Chito Vera, who is one of Colin Oyama's fighters.
Local boy.
He I don't even know. It was, of course, they're fighting everybody from Brazil. It's a short, stocky dude with a mohawk. His name escapes me at the moment. But, dude, when I watch Chito Vera fight, I am like biting my what's it called? Gnashing my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever, because he's got his Muay Thai is really, he's got reach, and when he throws him kicks, but then he kind of, and Miguel and I were talking about that earlier, with Elijah, he kind of stops and waits and lets the guy get some punches off. And I'm like, dude, if he just, will keep him at a distance and throw the hands, this dude could win. He's got the skills, but he kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of let the guy win the fight. Now, you're familiar with them.
They're Team Oyama guys, right? They're local boys, yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that fight?
I didn't see all of it, but they were streaming it here while we were watching Fight to Win, and, it didn't work out well for them, so
yeah. What about,
it's a bummer.
Yeah, I caught a piece of it. I got, I think, the first round of it, yeah.
And am I crazy, or does that seem to be the case? Because it seems like he's got the distance, the skills are there, he's got the reach, but he kind of stops and lets him kind of close that distance.
I agree.
He's got to figure a little bit of that out. Obviously, he's got to go back to the drawing board after what happened. So I know they're going to get it together.
I mean, the skills.
He's one of Jason House's guys. We know that.
Yeah, and the skills are there. I mean, it was a close fight. It could have went.
Those guys are solid,
either way. But when you're in Brazil, you like they say, you can't let it go to the judges.
That's right.
But it was, the decision was fair or whatever. But I think, if he tightened
was that fight in Brazil?
Yeah,
yeah.
The whole thing.
Oh, okay. He's from somewhere in South America, whether it's Bolivia.
I think he's
or
from
Argentina
Ecuador.
Yeah, something like that. And he speaks Spanish.
But now he's here,
because he said that at the pre-fight show, they said asked if you want to ask a question. So his question was for Tyrone Woodley, and he said, I can do it in Spanish and I can do English. I want to be with you guys, do everything with everybody, or whatever. So I think he's already looking ahead.
I think he has a good heart. I think he's one of those guys.
He's got the skill, and it kills me because you could see that he probably could have knocked the dude out. I mean, he was at a distance and he was catching him, but then he kind of stopped and let the guy close the distance. And those dudes from Brazil, I don't know what they take, but those dudes are. I mean, that's not creatine and protein powder. I'm sorry, those dudes are stocky. Yep. They're put together. I mean, I guess that's all you got to do out there, or whatever. But those dudes are put together.
It's that Amazon crocodile meat,
and then they don't make weight because they're so goddamn.
That's a tough one, yeah.
But anyways, hey, Chito Vera, it's there, dude. I mean, he's got to pull it together. I think he could do damage, man. Maybe Colin could take him back to Argentina, and they could just go deep in the woods and train out there. He'll come out like an animal. So we look forward to checking him out. Now, speaking of horrible decisions or whatever, Tim Dirty Bird Means is a good friend. His wife fights for King of the Cage, and I've been out there a few times, and very nice, very, very nice to me, even Tim Dirty Bird Means. So it when you're watching something like that, you're kind of biased, but did you guys get a chance to see that fight at all? Even a piece of it?
Just a little bit of it, yeah.
That one I didn't. I missed.
He dominated that fight. He was especially in the third round.
But I kind of expect that.
Dude,
Tim Means is known for that.
And he let the hands go, and he was cracking him. And that was like perfect Dirty Bird Means. Kept the distance, was kipping him on the end of his punches and everything like that. He loses a 3-round split decision.
Yeah, of course.
When that decision came in, I was like, it could kind of be expected, but then it's like, dude. What?
But do you feel he kind of gassed in the third round from all that pounding?
He started to, but I think he did enough to
sway the judges.
And he took the fight on short notice, and and
that's the tough part.
Yeah, and I think they were saying he just signed a new 3-fight contract or whatever. So
he fought his heart out. I hope Dana saw that, right?
Well, if Dana sees the fight, he knows or whatever, and that those guys are going to put on a fight. So I think. When he goes back to Albuquerque, gets back in the gym with John Judy and Tom Vaughn and everybody from Fit NHB, the next fight I think it's going to be I think he's just going to do damage on the next fight because stuff like that's got to get to you, especially when you feel like you won and you get robbed.
Yeah, that's got to be a very disheartening situation. You take it on short notice, you give it 110%, you win in your mind, and then they pull it out from under you.
Yeah, would you agree?
I agree, totally.
And we talk about that a lot because I don't know what the judges look for or whatever, but to me, if you're pushing the fight and you're coming forward and you keep pushing that thing, you should get the advantage or whatever.
No, I totally agree. Yeah.
If you're back on your heels and running and stuff like that, it's like, dude, did you come to fight? Or I don't know how that works. I really don't. Well, but then I think it wasn't just Brazilian judges. I think there was a couple. ¿Cómo se llama the morenito with the light skin that judges all the fights in New York? You know what I'm talking about? Tall guy with the light skin.
A Puerto Rican fella?
And sometimes he referees. Meeks, I think it is.
Oh, maybe.
One of those guys. They were out there.
Miguel has those guys down. I'm surprised.
Is a boxing? Was he a boxing ref?
Yeah. Tony Weeks or Meeks.
Oh, Tony Weeks. Tony Weeks. Yeah.
He was
okay.
one of the judges or whatever. So
God.
What are they looking for? Or whatever. So, hey,
we'll never know.
Yeah, don't let that get you down or whatever. I mean, and they know. They went back and said, "Dude, you won that fight. Don't even worry about it or whatever."
Next time we got to finish.
Yeah, and you hate to say that. And it's not like he didn't try.
No, you always want to do that, right?
Dang, man. I mean, let's give the judges give them some credit, dude. Or you get in there and go see what happens. So, anyways, that sucked. Now, did you guys get to see at all? Valentina Shlemenko.
Yes.
Now you talk
I
about,
saw that one. Yeah.
I heard
talk
about
throwing
it.
somebody in the deep end. I mean, they threw her. She was 8-0, and the thing is, did you guys get? I know you guys were here.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But
if
we hear stuff. Everybody's talking about fights.
I don't know if you got to see any of the pre-show, but
tell me.
They threw that girl under the bus, Cochera or whatever. Yeah, Cochera. They were like, she's a drug addict. She was addicted to crack, and she had kids out of wedlock. And I'm like, why are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you airing her dirty laundry?
That's a lot of dirty
laundry. We don't need to know that, man.
Yeah.
Just
talk about giving some background. Yeah.
I was like, dude. And then I was like, then I kind of felt sorry for him. Like, dude, she's probably trying to feed the family or whatever. But, anyways, dude, completely, totally outmatched. I mean, that was the worst I've ever seen. I was like, what? I'm like, Yamasaki, what are you? And how many times have we talked about that here? About if you're getting beat or whatever, and like, I say, go ahead and throw that towel in and live to fight another day. If that wasn't a perfect example of it, I don't know what is. I mean,
Yeah.
that girl had no chance. She was bloodied. She was, and when they were on the feet, she was. Shlemenko was just.
Yeah.
And you could hear it. You could hear the cracking. I'm like, hold, it's way outmatched. And then she took her down at will. Boom, and just continued to pound on her, hit her with the elbow, split her wide open. She's blood everywhere. And I'm thinking, dude, she made it through to the second round, and the exact same thing happened. I was just glad that they didn't keep it on the feet, because if they would have kept it on the feet, she probably would have knocked her.
I'm
out
surprised
big
that they
time.
didn't even stop it when he put the choke, or when she put the choke on. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Now, Mario Yamasaki was a referee. God bless him. You're in a position. She was kind of moving and trying, to get out of positions or whatever. But at what point do you say, it's the middle of the second round. You're bloody battered. I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to win this fight. I don't want to see you get knocked into tomorrow. What was he looking for?
fuck, man. I mean, who knows what he would. Oh, I do remember I came across a small piece of, like, I don't know how legit it is, but they had interviewed him and they asked him what was he thinking, and his thing was always like, well, I get nervous, I get shaky being in there too, and they're like, dude, but like, these fighters rely on you to make a good decision, so.
And fighters think, I don't want to, for some reason it's in their head, I don't want to tap out, I want to look like a bitch or whatever,
Yeah.
and seem like I gave up or whatever. So if the referee, it's their intention, fighter safety first, to me. And I'll tell you what, if he would have stopped it, they would have said, oh, you stopped it, she was still moving, so he's screwed either way. But I personally wouldn't have had a problem with them stopping that fight. That girl's 8-0. That's her first time in the octagon. They threw her right into the deep end. There's no, what are you going to say? You're not going to say, oh, well, you should have beat her up, and then
I mean,
Shlemenko, she would be the champ if it wasn't for Joanna.
Yeah.
I can only speak, obviously I'm not in his shoes, but I think something cool that he could have done was, like, after the second round, go up to the corner and be like, hey, if she's getting her ass handed to her the way she was first, I'm stopping this.
Yeah.
So you guys can't be complaining,
Yeah, make it clear to everyone.
Make it clear to everyone, yeah.
Yeah, she can't see through the blood. So
Well, because there's always that thought process of how far you can take someone. And the refs, they've been around for a while, and they've seen these fighters come up, so they kind of know. Like, some people come back in the third round after get a good bludgeoning.
yeah, I mean, it's happened, but just, I don't know if maybe because it's women or whatever, and I don't know, but I was just like, dude, stop already. The worst was
They're tougher than the men.
The worst was Misha
Yeah, I
Tate
agree.
and Kat Zingano. That was, dude, when she was cracking her with those knees, I was like,
Dude,
good Lord.
Misha Tate is tough.
She is, but still, dude.
And
I
she's
mean,
still beautiful.
yeah, but I mean, dude, she was getting, I mean, or
She might even look better now.
Jessica Penne against Joanna Jurgic. I mean,
Oh, dude, yeah, that was
Jessica
pretty bad.
Penne, she doesn't even look human
yeah,
at the end of that fight.
God bless her,
Yeah.
to keep going. But I mean, when does it end? When do you
Yeah.
stop? Or whatever. I mean,
Her poor mother.
I think I would rather them be mad at me and say, you shouldn't have stopped the rest of. You know what? If you want to take beatings like that, I don't know if I want to be with you or not. Just go ahead and do whatever. But I had your best interest at heart. But that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys.
Do you get another chance when your coach throws the towel and you're not giving it 100% and not giving every last breath you have until the third round's up?
Yeah, blame
right?
me. I mean,
Right?
blame if Dana says, "Hey, man, you're going." Well, it wasn't me. They threw it. I could have kept going or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Or I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I just wonder about the politics of it because you don't want a guy who taps, you don't want a guy who quits.
Right. Unbelievable, but I think totally outmatched. I think Shlemenko's going to be a player at 125, so probably might be Nico Montana's next opponent.
And Nico's kind of
And
amazing, dude. She's coming
That's going
up.
to be a fight. They're gonna throw some hands. It's going to be crazy. So, anyways, that was a semi-main event because Pedro Munoz didn't make weight. Did you hear his excuses?
No.
He said that he was trying to cut weight. He was in the hotel. They didn't have a bathtub, and he couldn't lay in the hot water. So he tried to go to another hotel. And when he went to the other hotel, they didn't have hot water. So he wasn't able to get in the bathtub in the hot water and drop the rest of the weight. That's how come he came in 5-6 pounds over.
Some people do have a ritual. I'm not making excuses for them, and they live by those things. And then something changes, right?
Yeah.
Then what do? You got to have a backup plan. Put on some plastic bags
Just
and
like,
run.
well, yeah, just like a fight.
How bad
Hey,
do you want
you
it?
know,
Yeah.
Go bring some water from TJ. You'll drop that weight so quick.
No.
If you're in Brazil, you put on a couple hefty bags and run down the street, you're going to
Yeah.
burn weight.
Exactly. And especially if you might get chased or something while you're out there.
You don't even need to drink the TJ water. You can drink that Brazilian
There you
water.
go. See
That's
what
just as
I'm-
bad.
You won't be able to
rivers or
fight.
whatever.
Yeah.
You'll be done.
You'll be blood for a week.
So I think they're going to reschedule that because he's fighting John Dodson.
Yeah, it's
which
a big
would've
deal.
Oh, wow, that
would've
would've
been a
been
cool
fight.
fight,
Yeah. So, and Dodson was like, "Nah, I'm not fighting, dude. Forget that." So, Lyoto gets a 5-round split decision against Anderson. It was the Lyoto of old,
Yeah.
karate style,
Yeah.
jumping back and forth, waiting for him to jump in, hitting him
Timing
with some
it.
shots. But he walked into a few. I mean, he went to throw, and bam, he got caught with a couple of shots. So Anderson didn't look bad at all. He looked, as a matter of fact, he looked pretty good, and I think he gave Lyoto a little bit more than I expected. I thought Lyoto honestly was going to run through him because I thought he was going to be a little bit too much for him. But Lyoto says in the news that he wants Michael Bisping.
Oh no.
He says, I'll take Vitor Belfort, but I would like to fight Michael Bisping. Now, I love Lyoto, Ed Soares, George Guimaraes, good friends or whatever, but I don't know. I think Bisping might be just a little bit too much for him. What do you think?
Well, no, I actually think Lyoto's got a chance as long as he plays his cards right. I don't know that Bisping is himself anymore. He hasn't been doing so well.
Robert almost dropped everything there. Did you want to say something about
Right?
that, Robert?
And I do want to hear what he's got to say, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Know.
Lyoto looked good. I mean, he went back to the
I
old
think
Lyoto
Lyoto
was-
Machida is a legitimate fighter.
If that dude kicks you and hits you with that liver kick, that's it.
He's unorthodox. He does his karate thing, but he has a means of getting in and out and causing damage.
Now, do you agree, Robert?
Yeah, I want to see the fight. That's all I wanted to say because I really think it's an interesting fight. That
Oh, no
style.
doubt. It'll
Yeah,
be
that's why I want to see
entertaining
it. I think it'll be a good fight. I mean,
but you'd rather see him against Bisping than Belfort, right? Because didn't he hit Belfort with the high kick or the front kick and
That'll
same
do
thing?
it. That'll
Went
do
out?
it.
No, that was Anderson Silva.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get the Brazilians mixed up, but they do look a lot alike. So
Twins. Those are twins.
yeah. So I don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe him and B4, and maybe him and Vitor would be a good fight. So we'll see what happens.
I think either one would be a good fight.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say that they're
I think-
past their prime, but I think they're all three of them are a little over the hill.
And I think Bisping would draw more money than
Then Belfort.
Belfort, don't you
Yeah,
think?
I think so.
yeah. I would agree with that. So
With that Machida fight, I have to ask you, though, did you see any glimpse of the old Anderson Silva? Was he taking chances? Was he trying to find that groove? Was he suckering him in a little bit?
fighting the old Anderson Silva.
Or was it Anderson Silva? You said Anderson. Who is he fighting?
No, Lyoto's gonna fight.
Who did he fight here? On that
Oh
one?
yeah, and you're talking about Anderson Silva. He did look. I mean, he had that bounce, and then boom, he was catching him. So he going back to where he was or whatever. He did look good, but against Bisping is a whole different.
Oh yeah,
Bisping,
no, the game changes.
That's why we got to get Jason Barrio in here.
Yeah.
Because he's got them instead of backing up, keeping their hands high, staying in the pocket, and just coming up the middle.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I think it'd be a lot different fight. I don't think.
It will be.
Yeah, it'd be a lot different. I think it would be great.
I
Yeah.
wonder if Bisping can put it together in time. I wonder if there's enough left in him to put it together to get one more win because he's looking at retirement soon. It's got to be. Come on.
Well, that eye dude ain't
Yeah.
doing him any favors.
Yeah, he
Oh,
can't
man,
see,
it's
right?
crazy. Yeah,
And
well,
if he
it-
can, it's in the wrong direction.
I bet that, and that just goes back to the eye pokes and all that, man. That sucks, man.
Oh, that could have ruined his career. It could have potentially taken away what he could have been. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be blind or whatever.
No, you don't want to walk away like that.
Exactly. Well, anyways, before we continue on, don't forget you're here. You're on the free admission. I call it channel. I don't know what you would call it. Free admission channel.
That's right.
With full contact phonetics. I got Dondo over here to my left. I got Miguel to my right.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about the UFC that just passed, and of course Robert bringing us in and out. If it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for him, because nobody would be able to hear us. But anyways, got Adrian Yanez calling in about another 10 minutes or so, and Saad Awad at about 8:45. We're going to talk to them. But
Big names, man. Good job.
dude, not only that, but a lot of other people want to come on too, because people who got fights coming up. Leah Letson, big
Let's
fight
talk to
coming
him.
up. She's the one who fought in Invicta. I think it was on a week or 2 weeks' notice. I can't remember who she fought. Big name. Hit her with a high kick and knocked her smooth
I
out.
love that.
And was on the road to doing some damage. She's in the Air Force, got called to active duty.
Wow.
So she's been gone for a while, but she's back, and they booked her for another fight. So we're gonna get her on so we can talk about that. Anybody who's in the armed forces, I gotta give props to.
That's
because-
kind of an
Oh, yeah,
amazing
of
thing,
course.
man, to walk
Yeah.
away from everything to go protect everybody else is sitting on their butts.
But imagine you're in Invicta one day knocking
Yeah.
somebody out, the next day you're in
Iraq,
Kuwait or Afghanistan in the middle of
shooting people.
nowhere in the dirt,
Yeah.
thinking about, damn, I had a good fight. So we'll get her back on for sure. So, anyways, that leads us up. Oh, Robert, before I continue on, did you hear the news? Max Holloway's out, injured.
And
No.
what was the injury?
I
We
know
did.
let's talk
Frankie
about that a
Edgar.
little.
I did, and then I heard the TJ Dillashaw and what he calls on that, and I
And they're trying to
just
bring Gallbrand for the last
Gallbrand?
minute, but Dillashaw said no.
I actually heard they threw Nate Diaz in that mix.
Nate Diaz to himself in this one. I heard.
Yeah.
But what about Max Holloway, dude? That throws a whole monkey wrench in the whole thing. Now,
It
is
really
Frankie Edgar
does.
going to get another fight, or are they just going to cancel it? Do we know?
They haven't said yet they're looking for a replacement for a fight.
Unbelievable.
But I mean, I don't know if you're Frankie Edgar. Do you wait for Max?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's in a predicament because he wants that shot. So if he takes another fight, something might happen and screw that up. You know what I mean? So who knows? I think Frankie deserves it. If he wants to sit out and wait till he comes back, I think he deserves it. But we'll see what happens. It just sucks, man.
Did we find out what happened to Max?
So what happened to him? Robert?
I didn't see anything of what exactly the medical condition is. So, just hurt himself. That's all I know. He hurt himself.
Gotcha.
And what's his name? Was it Robert Whitaker or whatever?
Yeah, Whitaker's a New Zealander, yeah.
He
Oh, yeah,
actually
he-
came out and said that he's
He's doing much better, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he's coming around. Did you hear any of that?
Yep, I heard he was coming around. He had some super bad staph, right? That almost killed
Yeah,
him.
big time. But I
That's
didn't get
a
to hear
big
what he
deal.
said because he
Yeah,
came out
he
and said
can
exactly
get it taken
what
care
happened.
of.
Dude,
Like-
you got
like
Robert,
I know someone
I
like that.
Robert
Yeah.
Whitaker, dude, you got to take care of that, man. You're the champ. I mean, come on, dude. But anyways,
It's a
leading up
little
to that,
itchy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw
Since
rubbing
he's up-
alcohol on it.
the big
that works.
big fights coming up this weekend. Luke Rockhold against Yoel Romero. Did you guys get to see any of the countdown?
No,
I
not
did
yet.
not, but
I'm
that's a
actually
big
gonna see
one.
if I could check it out. I think they have him on YouTube.
Dude, Yoel Romero that dude's just a beast. I mean,
He's an action figure.
he's like a miracle of modern science because he's an older dude, but he's just in shape. But again,
he's a fucking weirdo too.
Cubano guy, right?
Hey, when you coming from Cuba and in a dictatorship, and
That's right.
you get on the inner tube Chico
Yeah.
to get over here, and
You got to swim
you
to
get
Florida.
that taste of look what happened to Yacias Puig.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he went nuts or whatever with the freedom.
They
So
came
you-
after him.
I think your mind changes or whatever, but I mean, it goes back to that wrestling mentality. I mean, he went to the Olympics, which is top of the food chain, and you see that grind when he's training. I mean, you opponent after another, and he's shooting doubles, and he's taking people down. And it's just constant. I think that's why he looks the way he does because he's constantly training. He's ready, but
I hope so.
I seriously think that Luke Rockhold is underrated, dude. I think they don't give that guy enough credit. He's had a couple of losses or whatever, but I mean, that dude comes in shape, ready to go, good mindset. He catches Yoel Romero. That's it. And nothing for nothing, but it seems like Yoel kind of will gas towards the last, like maybe 4th to 5th round. So if he can drag him into the deep waters, I think it's going to be a seriously, seriously good night for Luke Rockhold. What do you think?
I think he's capable. I think he represents one of the more athletic people out there that are in the
Luke
fighting
Rockhold?
world. Yes.
Yeah.
That are not necessarily fighters. They can fight, but he doesn't have that killer instinct. He doesn't bring that to the table, so I don't get excited when I see him fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could go either way.
I actually think he gets a little carried away.
Luke?
Yeah, like he tries to throw all his eggs in one basket right away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what kind of ends up costing him.
Yeah.
You know.
And who knows? If they get that 3rd round and they're both a little bit tired, Yoel's going to go for that double leg and just get him down. And a big dude like that, you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to get that weight off you. And you're going to be
No.
struggling. It's going to make you tired or whatever.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say the other difference too is I think Luke Rockhold has a bigger array of
Bag of tricks.
Yeah.
than Romero. You know what I
he
mean?
definitely does. He's got good hands, and those kicks come pretty hard.
And even if he does get taken down, he's at least has a bigger arsenal of grappling, tools or.
Right. Well, in the countdown, he kind of left AKA and was training somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he just went to get some better looks or if he's we have to have Javi.
I actually saw that he was cross training. I don't remember
Yeah.
where else he was going though.
I think it was Florida,
Was it ATT?
if I'm not mistaken,
Probably.
for strength
I
and
don't know.
conditioning, and which you can't blame him. You get some different looks.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Well,
You
maybe it
should.
was ATT Florida because Yoel Romero was training with the Cubanos somewhere else, doing some wrestling and some like judo and
Yeah.
karatecas and all that. He's trying to open up his thing to fight him, but I think it makes for an interesting fight. I'm gonna go on record as saying I think Luke Rockhold's gonna drag him into deep waters and he's gonna end up winning a 5-round decision. What do you think?
I'm going to put my money on Yoel Romero.
Decision?
I'm going to bet you. Yeah, decision. Yoel wins by decision, and I'll bet you 5 plantains.
And he can surprise you. Hey, he can surprise you and
him
like
away?
come up with a knee like he did Weidman and stuff like that. And when you're on a steady diet of arroz con frijoles and plátano frito, hey,
That's right.
who knows what's gonna happen? Didn't he poop his pants in one when he had those
I
purple
think he was
trunks
one of
on
the
or whatever?
guilty people to let
Hey,
one go.
yo, take it easy, okay? No need
No
plátano
Cubano
frito,
coffee.
chico. What do you think?
I'm gonna actually go with Rockhold if Rockhold doesn't get carried away. I'm actually gonna say he'll finish him. I'm just gonna take a stab at the third round. I can't say what because
Yeah.
But
Miguel eats fried plantain, so we're on for
well,
a
I
bet
do
right
too,
here.
man.
Oh, yeah.
But, not before a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing damage in the octagon. But
we do damage in my pants.
exactly. And then he'll definitely win because Luke won't touch him. You're like, I had enough of that. What do they do with that? Is that a no contest or whatever? I ain't touching him, dude. He's full of crap.
Yeah, you
Or
gotta.
whatever.
I don't know unless it starts like seeping or running down your leg or
man,
something.
I don't want none of that. So we'll see what
Hazardous.
happens. Now, Mark Hunt is fighting Blades. The
That's
Blades, or
awesome.
what's
That's
his name?
awesome. Yeah, Blades. Yeah.
And I didn't think too much of him until I saw a couple until I saw a couple of his fights, and then in the
We
countdown,
better, right?
dude, that dude's a big time wrestler, man. He went
Yep.
Division I champion,
He's gonna need that.
and when they were showing some of his highlights, he does got a good double leg and stuff like that. Now, but the thing is, you get hit by Mark Hunt, you square,
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough to come back.
sure. It's like
So-
a brick, a cinder block.
Exactly, and Mark Hunt, it doesn't seem like with age or whatever, he doesn't slow down at all. I think because the way he fights or whatever, I think that's why he's still able to do. Because I've never seen that dude on his toes.
Yeah, he hunkers down
Just
and throws.
flat-footed and pink, and then that's it.
Yep.
Or whatever. So I don't think this kid can get past Mark Hunt only because Mark Hunt's so established and so got heavy hands, and he's a Samoano or whatever.
It's Robert's brother.
I know. I don't think he can get in and take him down, and people don't give Mark Hunt enough credit. He'll push that head down and work his way up
Yep.
and get back to the feet. So I'm going to say Mark Hunt, 3-round unanimous. What do you think?
I would love to see Mark Hunt knock him out. Period, and just do the walk away.
Right.
That's what I'm into.
Which is absolutely a possibility.
That's just what I like to see him do.
What do you think, Miguel?
A walk-off home run by Mark Hunt. Big
Yeah.
time.
I mean, I
Yeah.
could see that happening.
That's
I mean,
right.
I just think maybe a 3-round because Blades is a little too. He's a little bit more mobile. He's once he feels the power, he's gonna try to close that distance and get in.
It changes your game plan real quick when you
Yeah,
get clocked.
yeah.
Even if it's a glancing blow, you know how much power is behind it.
And he don't. He
Let's
want.
get his opinion.
He doesn't want to be on the end of one of those
Robert,
shots.
your twin brother.
Now, Robert, when you and Mark Hunt were
Eating
doing road work
coconuts.
in New Zealand, getting ready to fight Bob Sapp and them, tell us about that.
I don't remember that one, but yeah, I mean, I just wish the best for Mark Hunt. So
What?
I think
So did
he can
him
do
and
it.
like who was it that he was having beef with? Was it like Dana White or?
Yeah, Dana White.
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole steroid thing with Brock Lesnar and all that.
Oh God.
Now, the question I have for you, Robert, is if we go out to Las Vegas to go do a live broadcast or something like that, and Mark Hunt is in town, can we have him punch you in the stomach and see what happens? Because you're our man.
And you got a lot of protection.
I will not be responsible.
Just
for,
you-
I will not be responsible for Mark Hunt breaking his hand on my stomach.
Just your hand like this, and Mark Hunt just gets come on and
No,
boom,
no,
gloveless.
no, because that's a liver shot, and I've got kicked in the liver by somebody else once, and that I threw
Well,
up.
would you rather get kicked in the nuts?
No, neither.
The
We
question
can work,
is-
we can work out either one. You just let us
The
know.
question is, did you let one go?
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, as the producer and the proprietor of Full Contact Fanatics, I think it's not that much to ask. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think you should do it for the
Nah.
team.
It's
Yeah.
unanimous.
Take one
Robert.
for the
You're-
team, Robert.
You're our man, dude. We got to have you do that. So,
Shirtless.
Oh,
Yes.
dude. How about in just a pair of black Speedos, some knee pads, and no socks or shoes,
And a
you-
brand new pair of chanclas
yeah,
just for
yo,
you, dude.
Yeah, perfect. And you gotta
Locals.
Put your hand like this, dude, and let him go full swing right in. Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
You guys are out of your minds.
Just a small price to pay. For
Imagine the
ratings.
slow mo.
Yeah, for the.
Oh, dude.
You would just see, whoa, man.
It's like a 20-foot wave coming over your head.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Now that I think about it, it might go viral, so maybe.
Yeah, so hey, we'll get some ratings. Almost kind of like Kimbo Slice. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we'll work on that, dude. That sounds like a good. See, that's why. Even though, like we're talking before, I'm a groucho man. We come up with stuff like that on the fly.
That's right.
That's what will get us to the promised
I
land.
like that kind of
So,
thing.
Robert, just a small price to pay for the viewership and the ratings of Full Contact Fanatics here on Free Admission.
We got to do that out on the strip too. Put them on the strip.
Oh,
right
that's
there
right.
in the
Exactly.
corner.
And if it's videotaped and good enough, there's some great footage for Gym Crashers. You know what
Sure
I mean?
is.
There it is,
That's
yeah.
like a good opening
That's
or
right,
whatever.
yeah.
Isn't it?
And plus, people want to see Robert because he's never on camera.
That's right.
So they want to
Yeah.
see him. Although they did see Robert take a picture when we did the live broadcast, and he's next to Miguel going like this. Or whatever. So they did get to see that picture. But anyways, no Adrian Yanez yet. Robert.
I like the setup.
I talked to him. I texted him with him like when we started. So I said, okay. So whenever he's gonna
Well, as soon as he calls in, we'll talk to him because there's so much I want to talk about. Because there's things he could talk about and there's things he can't talk about. In
But that is a
Thailand
clean
because
setup for it. Look at that.
I like it. Now, the question I have for you before he comes on, I watched. They haven't shown as much on Access TV with the lion fights and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Now, lion fights have brought a different type of Muay Thai to the forefront in
Sure.
Las Vegas. Now, they got different guys from East Coast or
Uh-huh.
West Coast. Dude, they bring them dudes from Thailand
Yep.
that have 120 fights like it's nothing.
They've lived it.
The first time I watched it, they had one of those guys from I can't even pronounce their names. He came out. He had like 120 fights. I'm like 120 fights. What the dude?
Yeah, dude. He fought
It's
like 12 times in a night.
Yeah, that's like a nothing. to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So they squared off, and the American dude threw like a shin kick or whatever to try to catch him on the shin, catches him and hurt himself.
Ooh.
He kicked. He's like, oh, and the Muay Thai guy from Thailand is like has hands up and like throw another one.
Yeah.
So is it just from them doing it so much or whatever that they have
Well,
that?
there's something that happens. Your bones get calcified when they've been pounding for so long. But there's always that spot in your structure, the Anderson Silva spot, that you
Right.
got to be very careful of.
Oh
Oh, God.
snap it,
Yeah.
Right? Come
or
on.
whatever.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
But dude, so is it in Thailand? Is it the same as like in Japan for the pro wrestling? If you decide you want to become a pro wrestler, that's your life. You go to a dojo, you live there, or like the sumos. You ever seen like the sumo wrestlers?
Yeah.
If that's what they want to be, they go to the dojo, and then that's their life.
I think there's a little bit of that. I think there's some other things at play. They actually are able to scout out the toughest kids, and they breed them that way. I mean, because remember, you're coming out of villages, and it's
Yeah.
village against village, so it's a little different game. Japan is a very first world nation.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're
Right.
a very strong nation. Thailand's a third world country where you're coming out of the bush,
Right.
right?
And,
So things happen differently.
and not to get off the subject, but have you seen the way those sumo wrestlers are treated in Japan?
They're like kings.
Have you ever watched any of that?
Yeah.
Not the sumo ones.
I have.
It is.
My best friend is a sumo.
Yeah, it's amazing. The guy who ruled it for years, Asasorio, who's actually from Mongolia, became big time champion, and he got in trouble because there's a certain way that they need to act, and he was going out with just a pair of white boxers and a white
Yeah.
V-neck T-shirt, and going and singing karaoke and getting drunk and all that, and they ended up.
That's my kind of party, dude.
And it's not, you never see that.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
supposed to be, because especially when you get to Yokozuna, which is the top,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're supposed to be,
There's etiquette.
Etiquette,
treated
yeah.
a certain.
There is an etiquette that we're even unaware of. How they
Right.
conduct themselves.
But
The Yakuza will come get you.
well, hey, we got to get Ensign Inoue on here because he's.
Robert knows him. Robert's
Yeah.
Japanese, actually.
I've had him on my
He's more.
other show twice, and the stories that guy has is amazing. I mean, just because he's got so much respect from being a Pride fighter. But these guys, these sumo guys, they have young boys that take care of everything. Literally take care of everything. If you need their back scrubbed or
Oh,
whatever,
whoa.
By young
dude,
boys.
By
they
young
make
boys,
they make all their food. They wash all their clothes. They,
Give me Mama-san, okay? Give me young boys. Mama-san,
Yeah,
come over here,
they're
Mama-san.
getting
Give
they're
me
getting ready
Masagi.
to do this, what I don't know what you call it, the fighting or whatever, the next day, and
They
it's
spar,
supposed
yeah.
to be good luck to drink turtle blood.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
There's
the
a lot
young
of
boys, the young boys have to hit the turtle to knock his head to come out, and then huacatelas. They cut the head
Oh,
off and
dude.
pour it into a cup of ice, and they have to slam it.
You get used to it.
Yeah,
It's
and
still
like
some
anything
weird
else.
rictuals, though.
Yeah,
Everything from Iota Machida and his
drinking
Drinking his
the
urine?
Pee-pee,
electrolytes
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Have
I
you
don't, that I
ever-
don't get.
Have you ever tried a shot of that?
That I don't get.
No, I'll
Never
pass
tried-
on that.
Not even a shot?
That's craziness.
Of
I
your
don't
own?
know, I don't know what that, because it seems like that's your waist. We're getting off the subject, but
Oh, sorry.
that's pretty nasty. But when they get to that Yokozuna, you know how they have those hairstyles or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
There's only 2 people that are allowed to touch their hair. One of them is like in his mid 80s. The other one's almost 90.
Wow.
And they're the only ones that can touch their hair. And I mean, just completely. Somebody walks out with an umbrella to make sure they don't get the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. But they don't. A lot of them don't live past 45 years old.
A little hard to. Your heart can't take it, right?
Diabetes and the food was amazing. I mean, big things of ramen with cabbage and pork, and I was like, dude, I'm starving. But it's just amazing. Getting back to that lifestyle, that's your job. Same thing with the Thai boxers. It seems like that's your job. You're living at the dojo.
It's definitely their life.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's
But
what
it's the process of selection that's different.
that's why I wanted to get Adrian on to see, because I think they just train 2 or 3 times a day, and that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
Train, clean up, eat, train.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
So that's why when they come out here, they do so much damage, right?
Yeah, well, it is your way out of the poverty that you've grown up in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
It's a way of life.
it's your ticket out.
Would you say as Westerners we're just a little bit spoiled and that
Just
we don't
a
have
little.
to worry too much because you can always
Just
get a
a
job at
bit.
McDonald's?
Yeah. I heard they actually, raised minimum wage, so.
That's why the Mexicans are such good boxers.
Too bad the cost of living went up way more than minimum wage will ever
You're
go.
right.
So it doesn't even matter.
Sorry for the people listening. Got to get a cough lozenge in here because I have a sore throat. I'm not. I didn't get sick with the flu. I slept with a breathe right on because.
What is it that you got? So I worry myself when I go home.
I'm telling you, I
Cough in
Don't
his
make me choke.
direction.
I slept with the
Got an
breathe.
extra one of those?
Yeah, I slept with the breathe right on.
Yeah.
And it
Congested you?
I guess I got too much air and I woke up with a sore throat.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad. That's not so bad.
Yeah,
you're
I don't-
you're dry, is what you
Yeah,
are.
it's just.
You're okay, little
Yeah,
buddy.
I don't have a heavy head or anything, but just that.
No, you're okay.
So, anyways, before we continue on, for the people listening and watching to us, you're here, you have Full Contact Fanatics. Don't forget, you can check us out every Monday right here. Got Dondo to my left, got Miguel over here on my right, and of course, Robert taking us in and out. We're waiting for Adrian Yanez to call. Hopefully, he's going to get in within the next 5 minutes because we got Saad Awad coming on at 8:45. So, if not, maybe we could back him up and get him on after 9 if he doesn't come on. I'm talking about Adrian. Now, before we continue on, I want to talk a little bit about the Fight to Win, which was actually here
Yep.
at the Next Level Sports Complex.
Saturday
Now,
night.
Fight to Win, is that the one where you could do open palm strikes, or is that just strictly grappling?
It's a grappling event, a high-level grappling event.
Miguel?
Yes, they're right. And what I actually thought was cool was their setup. Like, dude, they were like.
I
it
saw
was-
the pictures.
Yeah, it was almost like. I hate to compare it to other stuff, but
Mhm.
I'm not gonna name anything. But anyways, they had the elevated,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
elevated
stage.
stage. Yeah, and it had like all the lights and everything, and it looked pretty cool.
Now, I saw Chris Crail was one of the judges,
Yes, he
or
was.
a referee, or
Yep.
something like that. So, did everything have to go through the California State Athletic Commission?
That is a good question.
Or
I
was he
don't
just
believe
one of
so
the-
because
was he
it is
just one
not a
of the refs?
striking event. He is one of the refs.
Well, we might have to call him and find out exactly what's going on.
What the
with
deal is, but I can't imagine it's a commissioned event because there's not
You
any
guys hear me?
kicking, kneeing, elbowing, or striking.
that. Right. The only one that I'm very familiar with is Kleber Luciano. So, Kleber Luciano, how did he do?
Kleber is actually the heavyweight champion. Is what it is, Robert? Light heavyweight. What is he? For his weight class, he's
Kleber
He's
Luciano?
small, dude. Yeah, he's probably like.
We got Adrian called. He's called in. I see him.
I think I got you guys on.
But Kleber did win the belt, just to give him credit, and it was kind of incredible.
Who do you fight?
Barrett Yoshida, a legitimate grappler.
The guy from Japan who fought. I'm sorry. What's going on there, Robert?
I think we got Adrian Yanez. Adrian,
Adrian, you're live on Full Contact Fanatics. Can you hear me, my friend?
and we need a camera.
You hear anything?
There he is.
There he goes.
Can you hear us, Adrian?
He's got it somewhere in there. Make sure you use the mic on the headphones, yeah?
Yeah. Are you using your mic on your headphones? Are you still on track phone where you pay as you go? Hold on a second. I got to cough.
See.
His immune system is better than mine, so cough that
Sorry,
way.
I'm choking.
Can you guys hear with the mic?
Oh, good.
There we go.
Woo,
Great,
you're
you can hear us
fired
now.
up.
And you know what? I've been going through this whole show with no problem, and now I have a cough attack. So bear with me, my friend.
And I see Adrian right there looking at us. I love it, man. Like
perfect.
the stash.
Adrian, real quick, for the people listening to us
The connection's
on
bad.
on Full Contact Fanatics, Robert, is he on a slight delay?
No, he says he has a bad connection.
So maybe he is on track phone. Pays you. Adrian, man, I'm hoping you can hear me or whatever. You can come on. You got to switch over, bro. You got to get one of those T-Mobile contracts or whatever, because you're kind of cutting in and out. If you can hear me, I'm pretty sure the people at home can hear you. We're talking about going to Thailand and the training and everything out there. Now, did you go out there specifically to train your Muay Thai and get a fight out there, or did you go for a vacation, or what took you out to Thailand?
No, I said snap.
Robert, is he still in Thailand? Is that why we can't get the connection?
He's in airplane mode right now.
Give me a plate of pad thai to enjoy with this conversation. I would love it.
Adrian, if you can hear me, man, I'm so sorry. For some reason, we're not getting the connection to where we can actually hear you
Well, we see
on
you.
the show. Now, he lives in I forget. He told me Hollister or something,
Hollister's up there by Santa Cruz.
which is out there
San
towards the
Jose.
San Diego area, or going up
No,
north.
San Jose up
San
north.
Francisco.
Gilmore.
Maybe if you're down this way,
Gilroy.
we can get you in the studio, so we don't have to worry about the phone connection.
We would love that.
Or whatever. If you can come in here and talk about Thailand, because I had a lot of people emailing me and message saying, "Hey, man,
Let's get the scoop.
some of them, like, I know there's stuff he can't talk about, and some of the stuff that he can talk about. So it'd be nice if we can get him in studio and talk about going to Thailand, because I think he did have a fight out there. I saw on his Facebook. So, Adrian, I'm sorry, man. The sound's not coming through, but for the people listening to us, if you check out Adrian Yanez on his Facebook account, just put Adrian Yanez in your little search engine. You can see all what we're talking about. He took a lot of pictures up there in Thailand, some videos of him actually fighting in Thailand, if you want to check that out. And he's also got, was on a little mission, and he's trying to support some groups for homeless. He met a lot of homeless kids,
That's pretty cool.
poor kids and stuff like that. So he did like a little, I don't know if it's a GoFundMe or whatever, but he went out there. Once he got out there,
Like a charity kind
yeah,
of a
he
thing.
wanted
Yeah.
to help out.
That's a beautiful thing,
Yeah,
brother.
so
That's cool.
you definitely want to check him out on that so that you can help out with that. So, Adrian, my man, I'm a million apologies, man, for the bad connection or whatever. Maybe we can either get him to call back later, because we got Saad coming up in
2 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes, or we can maybe get him towards the end of the show. So Robert will work that out with you, Adrian. If I don't get back to you, for sure we'll get you in this studio so we can talk about that. Okay, my friend?
Thank you, Adrian. I want to come up there to Hollister.
Yeah.
That's where biker gangs started. I'll ride my bike up there.
I was gonna say I never heard of Hollister. I thought
Yeah,
that was
it's,
just
where all
right,
this
it's halfway between I would say like maybe like what was it, like Stockton or
It's
something?
basically off of Los Baños, the 152. You got
Yeah.
Gilroy and all that, and you got
it's
Hollister right
that
to the
freeway
south.
or that highway that connects you out towards San Francisco. It'll throw
Well,
you
my
out towards San Jose.
San Jose.
My dad lives in Wheaton, California, which is going up that way.
Yeah,
And then they have the Gold County Casino up there.
but that's the other opposite end there. Yeah.
Is it? Is it
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Man, who knew all that? Who knew all that up north stuff or whatever? So
It's a whole
Not
other
me.
state. It's
if you guys want to go check it out, we can make a day of it. We can go to Hollister.
Oh, let's do it.
We can go to Wheaton and go.
Miguel doesn't go where the black and orange are, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
my
That's the
dad is
clear
full
away from
blown
that.
ranchero. He's got the
Oh, I'm
farm with
there.
the goats and the chickens and all that
Love
stuff. So we'll definitely have to check that out. So anyway, since we weren't able to talk to Adrian, maybe we can get him in here, because I'm
Cool dude, nonetheless,
I'm
man.
fascinated
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Thailand, because that's where everybody goes to train their Muay Thai. Christina Cyborg Santos, she
Yep.
went out there to tighten up her Muay Thai. Did you see the Ultimate Fighter where Joanna Jurczyk was telling everybody how she didn't want to go to school? She wanted to work with her mom to
That's
make
right.
money to go.
She did. She
To
strived
Thailand.
for that, just to harness her skills.
And then she said she went like 6 times.
Wow.
That's how much.
It's a long way from Poland,
But what do you think? No doubt.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
d-
We're
dude,
just across the ocean.
doesn't
She
speak-
had to cross a couple oceans to
and
get
it
there.
doesn't speak Thai, and then maybe some of them might speak a little bit of English because they have so many people in.
It's a universal
but I'm
language.
pretty sure none of them speak Polish
Yeah.
or whatever. So just to be able to go over there and train or whatever, it says a lot about how bad she wants it. You know
It
what
means
I mean?
she has to fight that much harder.
I would agree.
And she's
but-
110 pounds, right?
exactly, and to go out there by herself.
Yeah.
and I don't know if she went with a coach or something, but
How do you afford it? How do you pay a coach from Poland? Hey, come with me.
exactly. Well, maybe she did work a lot.
And then how do you find the right camp?
Yeah, and how do you even know? Well, I'm gonna go over here to train her.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's a lot of what ifs, right?
Yeah, somebody. Well, can we, Robert? Can we get Joanna Jurczyk in here next Monday so we can ask her in person?
Yes.
Okay, give her a call. Perfect.
I
Ya
figure
se
our
murió,
good friend
hombre.
Albert can get her
He
in.
no here no
The
more,
Celtic
man.
Gladiator.
That
Yeah,
is
so
true.
what?
Oh, there he
We
is.
got Saad.
Saad Awad has a good internet connection.
I'm
He's a man.
I'm trying to make this straight. Hold on. There we go. I think it's a little bit better.
Saad, if you can hear us, we're live on Full Contact Fanatics. Can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, of course. I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
It's perfect. Yeah, for the people listening to us, you're here. You're at Full Contact Fanatics. I got Dando sitting over here to my right. I got Miguel sitting over here to my left if you're looking this way or whatever. And, of course,
Yep.
Robert bringing us in and out. And on the line with us right now, Saad Awad. Saad, I got to tell you, man, we're talking a little bit before you came on the air. I'm going to be honest with you. First of all, how you doing after your fight? You didn't seem to take very much damage at all. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling really good. I took the last week off. My hand's pretty swollen. I got to get an MRI this week. But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest with you. When we're talking about this, I think we were just in the opening. When I saw Saad was going to fight J.J. Ambrose, I said, man, that's going to be a tough fight for him. That guy's real well-rounded. He's fought a lot of different places, got a lot of different looks at people. But if Saad hits him with one good solid punch, he's going to feel that power and switch up. But not that you ran right through him, but I mean, you just dominated. I got to tell you, I'm thinking Saad's going to be standing up. He's going to be trying to keep him on the end of his punches. But, dude, you closed the distance when you needed to, got him down, and just completely did a lot of damage. Now, real quick for the people listening to us here on Full Contact Fanatics, I mean, was that the specific game plan, or did you just take it as it come, or did Batiste and Romy come up with a different strategy, or tell us how that all came about?
Well, I mean, Batista and Romy always, come up with some kind of strategy, but everything kind of always changes when the fight starts. It all depends on how the fighter tries to fight you, so you got to really make adjustments during the fight and go from there. So I think I kind of took it as the fight went. I expected him to try to grab me early, but he didn't. He started grabbing me later on in the round, in the second and third round. But yeah, I was able to do what I kind of wanted to do, and I couldn't land too many hard punches, so I had to switch it up and land some kicks.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, was the hand starting to hurt in the second round, or did it come out early?
I think I heard it middle of the first round when I caught him. I threw a couple of hooks, and then I felt it, and then it was kind of like it didn't hurt a lot, but it was kind of in the back of my head. So you could hear Romy and Batiste yelling jab, jab, because we worked a lot of our combos off of the jab. And I couldn't throw it because I think mentally I was thinking it was broken. So I said, man, I don't want to throw it if it's broken. I don't want to mess it up worse. So I had to kind of switch it up.
And you did. I mean, when he closed the distance and got him down, he was throwing elbows, and this fight kind of showed a lot more of how well-rounded you are. Not just a stand-up guy that's throwing haymakers and knocking people out. This fight really showed that you're all-around, fighter, especially coming from Millennia. It's not like, you got a lot of good people to train with over there to work, especially like Lorenz and, all those guys. So real quick for the people listening to us, I got Dando over here on my left, and I got Miguel over here on my right. You guys get a chance to see that fight? We talked about it earlier.
We talked about it,
Yep,
yes, sir.
that's right.
Now, they got a show called Gym Crashers. And because now that we're in this studio here, Robert has all the equipment to head out, and we go to different gyms. Well, they go to different gyms, and they do segments and show some stuff. So we would definitely like to send them down to Millennia to come down and do some filming over there. Now, are you there like every day, or what's the specific training regimen for you when you're in fight camp, but when you're getting ready?
Man, you guys already know you guys are welcome anytime you guys want.
Thank you, sir.
We're usually there Monday through Friday, whether it's in fight camp or out of fight camp. I would say the main days to go, though, are like Monday or Wednesday. That's when we get like good sparring in, and you get all the guys show up those days to really mix it up, so you get some good footage those days.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The reason I haven't gone with them to Gym Crashers and out there is because you guys are way too close to Victoria Gardens. Because there's Lucille's.
We're right across the street.
Yeah, there's Lucille's. There's Bass Pro Fishing Shop. Dude, I've had fish
Plenty
over
to
there.
do. We spent a week out there.
Slamming. Yeah, dude. So we're going to have to go and make a whole day of it or whatever, because Batiste and Romy have been friends of my show, my other one, for such a long time, and they've always been very hospitable ever since back in the Long Beach Fight Night days. Now, real quick before we first of all, before we ask you about what's next for you, I'm going to go on record as saying that Saad Awad has the most perfectly, it's like a picture that family has, a beautiful wife, beautiful kids or whatever. When you look at that, it's like like a pick. Like I want to go play football with like throw the football in the front
There they
yard
are. There they are.
or whatever. Yeah, right
Nice.
there. Now, does that make a difference? You know, when you're it seems like you know you got a family and all that, so like you're fighting so much harder because you want to provide for them or whatever. I mean, it just seems like you're really like focused and really focused towards getting that next title shot. Does that make a big difference? And that also is your wife. Does she really like MMA or whatever, or when you come home it's just like a total break from MMA?
I mean, it definitely makes a world of difference. You know, when you know you have your family that you're fighting for, it's you have a reason. You know, before I was fighting for fun. It was you know, of course, everybody wants to be a champ when they're fighting for fun, but you know, you cut practices short. You don't put in the overtime. You don't train as hard as you should be training, and you don't realize how hard you could train until you have something else you're training for. And you know, my wife, you know, I have my daughter and then my wife, and then my wife is pregnant, so you know, we're expecting a boy in May. So that just, you know, lit the fire kind of back under me all over again to kind of try to push for that title and go from there. But she definitely helps me out. She cooks awesome. She makes sure all my meals are diet meals when I'm dieting. Even when I'm not dieting, I'm eating real good. And she tries to make it as easy as possible when I get home. So I try not to. It's not that I try to, but if I'm not training, I want to be home. That's the only place I want to be. That's the only place I'm comfortable. It's the only place I really get my rest. It's the only place I kind of, you know, I'm comfortable. So she makes it like that. You know, my daughter makes it like that. And, you know, my home is, you know, my home, you know, so I love being home.
Yeah, that's good. You have that
Nice.
support system.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because they're behind you 100%. Now, you know, great fight. Really showed a lot of how well-rounded you are. Now, do you go up to Scott Coker after and say, hey, look, man, I had a good fight. You know, took minimal damage or whatever. You know, what's next? Or does he approach you? Or how does that work after the fight?
You know what? They approached me before my last fight. He didn't approach me, but one of the main guys there approached me and said, hey, we're going back to California in January, and, you know, you have a big following there, so we really want to put you on the card. So as long as you don't get hurt, you're going to have a fight coming up soon. So that's why I fought so quick after my last one, because I didn't take any damage. So after this one, I talked to the same guy, and he said, you know, they really liked the fight. He said Coker really liked it, and we'll let you know what's going to happen. So I have no clue right now. You know, if it was up to me, I'd fight, you know, next month, but my hand is kind of hurt, so I do have to let it get a little bit better, but and start bugging them. But I do know they're fighting out in Cali 2 more times in Southern California over here in Temecula. So if I'm going to fight on every one of those cards, I have another 2 fights coming up this year. You know, I hope to stay busier, but I mean, if I can fight at least 3 times, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
You know, it does make a big difference coming out here to California because there is a big following, especially for Bellator and stuff like that. So we definitely look forward to that. Now, if you could please just keep this between us. You know, Batiste, I've known him for a long time, and the last time I was up there, he's put on a little bit of weight. And rolling with him, that dude gets on top. He is hard as hell to get off. I mean, he just got. Have you rolled with him recently?
He said it, not us, dude, not us.
I haven't rolled with him recently, but I rolled with Romy lately, and Romy's lost a lot of weight, but he feels heavier because he's like more in shape now, and he's been training. Romy's been training a lot lately, so when you come down, he's gonna be the guy to roll with. Batiste just kind of chills and holds mitts and kind of calls shots from the side.
Yeah, but he does have game though. He does have good jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, he does.
Because I've actually rolled with him, but just the thing is that, you know, turtle position or whatever, he was so heavy I couldn't get him off. Or if you could sweep him, dude, that's half the battle right there, man. Well,
good luck doing that.
That's what I'm saying. please don't tell him I said that, because then he's gonna go, okay, all right, get in here now and we'll see what happens. But anyway, Saad, I got to tell you, man, Saad's always been a good friend of the show. Anytime I've needed him to come on, he comes on, no problem. Not that the future didn't look bright, but I mean, after seeing that fight, it was just amazing. Hold on a second. Sorry, I gotta stop smoking.
Yes, you do.
Vapes or whatever. But
Yep.
any last questions for Saad before we let him go?
No. It's great to see
No,
him.
take it away, dude.
Absolutely a wonderful time seeing
Giving
it.
me a smallpox. Dude.
I know. I'm coughing right on him. We're definitely gonna come down, bring the Gym Crashers people down there so we can get everything. I've been promising Batiste for I don't know how long, but I'm telling you, dude, way too many places to eat over there, especially with Victoria Gardens. But I'll tell you what, if we do come down, I would definitely like you to go with us. Hopefully you're not in camp, so we can go to Lucille's. and have some barbecue.
Man,
I would love to.
Speaking of Lucille's, about 3 weeks before my fight, my little sister had a birthday and she had it there, and of course I went, and I told myself I was going to eat a lot. We go to order our food, and then my wife had to leave early. My baby was going crazy. She had to leave early. We drove 2 different cars. She left. I walked outside to get my car, and I didn't even eat. I packed my stuff to go because the baby was acting up, and my car was gone. So this is like 3 weeks before my fight. I'm looking for it. I call the cops. They say that it got towed. Turned out I didn't pay my registration for 6 months. I didn't notice it.
Oh, no way.
I swear. And I just didn't notice it. I've just been so busy with training and everything. And 6 months, man. And they towed the car. My wife had to come back pick me up. It cost me $700 by the time I got it out of the impound and paid my tags. And yeah, man. But that's Lucille's, though. It's right across the street.
Yeah. Well,
Park somewhere else.
Robert has he's Samoan, so he has a big van. And we
Samoan.
pack a lot of people in there, so you could just roll with us. We'll take you. You don't
There
have to
you
worry
go.
about registration
Family
and stuff
style.
like that. We would take Batiste, but I don't have the American Express black card or whatever, and that's gonna cost me way too much money. So, Batiste, I'm sorry, bro. We'll have to just take you another time. But anyway, Saad, a million thank yous for coming on, man. We definitely look forward to your next fight. For the people listening to us right here on Full Contact Fanatics, if you put Saad Awad in your little search engine, it's 2 A's, SAAD, AWAD. He keeps everybody up to date. You could see that beautiful family. It's like what are those Rockwell paintings or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
That is the most beautiful family I've ever seen. It's kind of
Thank you, man.
borderline. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is because I'm like, how can a family be so perfect?
I love it.
And then
That's
you
cool.
got Saad, who does all that damage in the cage and all that. It's just ridiculous. So we definitely look forward to that. Please tell Batiste. Don't tell him anything I said before this, but tell him we definitely want to come down. We got the cameras. Robert dude, you should see some of the stuff that he does with these cameras. We could definitely make it look real good, and definitely look forward
Come
to
down.
the
I
next
need
fight.
it. I need it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Come
Anybody you want to thank or any sponsors or anything like that before we let you get out of here?
down. No, man. Of course, thank you guys for having me, man. It's always
Absolutely.
a
Cool.
blessing
Thank
to
you
talk
for
to you
coming
guys,
on.
man.
For sure.
Absolutely.
No, for sure. This
A
is
million thank yous
awesome. And
for
hopefully,
coming on.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hopefully you guys get to come out soon, man. You guys will have fun out there. The gym's nice.
do it.
Everybody there is cool. We have a lot of up and comers too that you guys would like. So it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
And even Delo, when we were doing Long Beach Fight Night, he always said, I bring those guys from Millennia because I know that's good training, and those guys are going to come to fight.
They fight.
So it's been going on for a long time. So a million thank you, Saad. We're going to talk to you real soon. Don't forget, Saad Awad. Put him in your little search engine right there. He's always keeping everybody up to date. We'll see you real soon. Okay, my friend?
All right, brother. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good night.
All right, you
you,
got
man.
it.
Take
Thanks
care.
a million,
Thank you.
man.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
thanks. See you guys.
Later.
What a gentleman.
Yeah, for sure.
How about that? I mean,
He's an
dude,
awesome guy.
seriously, on that last fight, he really showed
Oh, yeah.
how well-rounded he is. And J.J. Ambrose is no joke. That dude is a good fighter. And he just took him down and kept pounding him. And you can kind of see in the face where J.J. was like, God dang it, I'm trying, but I can't, I just can't get where I need to get, or he wouldn't let him. So
Yeah.
it really worked out well. And Batiste, if you're
Stuffed him.
listening, I'm just playing, dude. I love you to death, because if he hears that, he's going to pull me out there and he's going to stretch me big time. So Batiste, that's just stuff for the show, right? To keep the show going. So don't take that.
I
literally.
saw Boz Rutan talking about Saad Awad, and he said, you know what? Imagine you're a new guy and you got to fight with this guy coming up, and his name is Saad Awad. He's all, is that a fighting name or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Because
doubt.
you don't know what's coming at you with a name like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's very smart too. Like he says, he's always in shape.
Yeah.
Because
Intelligent
especially
guy.
where he's at right now. You could get that title shot with like 2-3 weeks notice,
He's a contender.
and he's ready for it. So definitely look forward to. So we can definitely go Gym Crashers.
We absolutely,
Out there.
for Saad Awad, we will go wherever
I
we gotta
promise, if you let me go, you guys could do your thing. Just
Yep.
I either want to go to Lucille's or I want to go to
go. We're going to do both. Bass
to
Pro?
Bass Pro. Yeah,
I
they
like
have
them both.
They have catfish there that's outstanding. But we'll go after, because if we go before and Batiste,
Smells
gets me
catfish on you?
yeah, or it gets me in that on that mat of that cage, man. I'm not gonna be responsible.
You're gonna
for
pull
it.
a Yoel Romero.
It can
dude.
herp, and yeah, exactly.
herp.
It's gonna be really bad. So go ahead, Rob. You want to say something before we get out of here?
Yeah, we just missed the chat. I don't know. It wasn't updating the whole time until I switched over.
Chat us
So,
up.
Giovanni Varela says, "Oh, great job, guys."
Giovanni.
Dude, I
Mr.
was watching
Varela.
some of the clips. They had like an in-house tournament or whatever.
Yep.
Even the kids God dang it, they get in there and boom.
And they're chucking,
That's
dude.
judo.
Yeah, they do tosses. and
Judo,
then-
no,
Yeah.
you know what?
They really from a young age are really skilled.
Giovanni
I know
breeds
that.
them.
And that's how Giovanni, man. I gotta get him in here and see how he gets those kids to listen, because the ones that I train, in wrestling and stuff like that, I can't get their mind straight. So Giovanni, man, you got to do a seminar or something so we can get that going. Go ahead, Robert.
Then Aaron Muros here. She says no one else in the division would fight Shavinko. Apparently.
That makes sense.
Then Art says
Aaron
I
would
don't
know.
I don't think Lyoto won. He kept running around the perimeter of the cage.
Yeah, he did. He did run a lot, man. But
That's Lyoto's style.
Thank you, Art.
Yeah.
I think he did enough to win it out. And Aaron, we're going to try to get her in here so we can get her thoughts on that.
She's
I
a
think-
wealth of knowledge.
Oh, yes, and I think she would agree that Shlemiko
sure
was
is.
way too much for that girl. Go ahead.
She also said it's a good retirement fight for Bisbing. Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, against Lyoto?
Agreed.
Yeah, and then
I think
she
Yeah, I
both
think
of
so. I was about to say that
Yeah.
for both of them.
Byron says Rockhold would win that fight.
We'll see about that,
Against-
Byron. Let's bet some plantain.
And Romero and Muro says Romero got to get him in the first because his cardio is crap. Rockhold
kind of gases.
got shook hard by Branch in that last fight, and Romero hits hard.
Yeah.
Oh, And then Arturo says, yeah, you can get hit by a tank, and he says, make sure you do that Mark Hunt thing on Frontier Street.
oh,
That's all you,
Hey,
Robert.
you see?
no, let's bring Art out to
It's
get
already
punched
coming
too.
in, man. People want to see it done. So, Mark Hunt, hey, man, after you finish your fight or whatever, if you could do that for us, we'd be most appreciative. Definitely want to see that happen. But is that it, Robert, for the chat room?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Nicolette's here, and
What's up, Nicolette?
Jose Ambrosio says he loves the show.
Awesome.
good.
Thank you.
Nicolette and Oscar worked shows in San Diego and
I
stuff
love
like that.
it.
They're doing more wrestling than me now.
They're awesome. They're the
Exactly.
dream team.
I forgot. Also, PST's in the YouTube chat room.
PSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, nice.
post-stress
Oh, because I got that mustache.
Oh, hey.
That's slamming.
Thomas.
Hey, we
That's right.
appreciate
Thomas
you.
is my new bass player.
We
appreciate
partied all
you coming
weekend
in
with
the-
him.
in
That's
the
right.
chat room. Maybe we can have Saad Awad call Adrian Yanez and tell him what he needs, because he was perfect.
Yeah, he was.
Saad Awad was perfect, no problem, man. So maybe we can get him to call Adrian and get him hooked up with the same service so we can have him on. If not, Adrian, you can come in here, dude. You can bring your track phone, pay as you go. We'll buy you a SIM card, or what's it called? The little
Adrian's
card.
gonna kick you in the nuts when he shows up.
I
I don't think they have one of those internet trees in Hollister yet. He's trying to reach to San Jose for quite a way.
Ty kicked me right in the leg for
Good
talking
Lord,
like
yeah.
that. But anyways, we look forward to definitely getting him in here. I really want to talk about that Thailand because it's an adventure in itself. So for all that being said, and maybe we can get Aaron Moro in here to get some of her
Come
thoughts
on in, Aaron.
on what's coming on. Don't forget, big fights coming up. Yoel Romero against Luke Rockhold. We'll
Right.
make sure we keep everybody up to date on what's happening. Next Monday, we've been trying to get George Guimaraes in here. I talked to him. He says he wants to come on. I'm hoping to get him in here next week. When he says, do you want me to bring Lyoto? I don't know why he thinks the answer would be no. But who knows?
Bring him.
I know, dude.
I'll take a shot with him.
Oh God.
For sure.
It's going to be my own shot,
Oh,
but
dude,
yes.
that is, dude, if you do
He's
that
gonna
on
pour
air,
you some of his own.
Oh, I'll
dude.
do it on my air. I've done it.
dude, I got $14 on my waist package yours, bro.
I can talk story on drinking that
Oh,
stuff.
my goodness. Well, how about I think I would up the stakes, and if I could do a whole can of Skull and you drink the spit
No,
cup.
no. I've done that
Well,
on
come
accident.
on,
but,
dude.
you know.
I mean, if you're gonna go balls out Rambo, right? I've done it before too. I gotta tell
Picked it
you.
up and I'm
Yeah,
done.
if you're
I didn't
if
get
you're
me a Pepsi.
and you got too much, you never know, and bam, you go, oh, and then you just, it's really bad.
That's what I did for the yellow shot too.
Yeah, oh, dude. We'll
I
see.
often
Why
Why
don't you mix the yellow with the skull?
It's
Yeah,
because I often leave bottles laying around,
yeah, you
so I
gotta
grab
get
them.
the electrolytes in your system or whatever.
The
but-
ones that have left my body,
Exactly. Oh, dude, I can't even fathom that.
salty.
That's nasty. All right, so we'll see everybody back here next Monday for sure. As soon as we get the lineup going, I make sure I give it to Robert. We put it out there. A
Good
million
call.
thank yous for Dondo
Thank
and
you, brother.
Miguel
Thank
for
you.
sitting. Because a lot of times I go, well, you be on camera. Well, I don't want you. It's I got a face
both
for
here.
radio. So when we get somebody like Miguel on here who models
Mi-
Lucky
mi
Geese
guapo.
and Conca Geese
I
and stuff
know.
like that, that's what we need to have
Thank
him
you,
on here.
thank you.
His job.
I'm the old man. Dondo, he's
Second to the oldest
grizzled,
man.
grizzled veteran of the thing or whatever. So I appreciate them putting up with me. Robert too, man, because I give him such a hard time or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Coconut Husk
yeah,
sandwiches.
he's always there to help. So we definitely look forward to seeing y'all next Monday. Don't forget, check us out right here, free admission. What do you call it, Robert? I call it free admission channel. What's the proper word for it?
That's
Free
right.
admission.
Free
Yep.
admission channel.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Make
subscribe.
sure you subscribe. We got a
Hit
lot
the
of
like
stuff
button.
in the
We're,
works.
we're aiming to get Robert a gold pair of chanclas.
Yes, and then we'll
That's right.
and then we're gonna get him a pedicure. We're gonna
Yes.
take him to Ming Lao's house of pedicure and beepers and sunglasses.
We're gonna get an
and
80
get him
grit
taken care of.
sandpaper to go ahead and get all that.
You
You
need a
know,
chainsaw to cut his toenails.
So it might cost us a few bucks, but we're gonna get it done because that's a chancla wearing man.
4 weeks of
All right,
lotioning.
we'll see everybody here next Monday. Make sure you check us out. Don't forget Gym Crashers. Make
That's
sure you
right.
check them out.
Thank
We'll
you.
see everybody next Monday.
Good
See
night.
ya.